and a guy that is on top of it all, a guy that knows the Italian scene and he knows the Toronto scene from the Corriere Canadese, Leonardo Molinelli. Leonardo, welcome again, my friend.
Hi, Anthony. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure's all mine, Leonardo. Let's get right to it. Yesterday, we heard that possibly the Toronto FC could be in talks with an AC Milan director and possibly a coach as well. What have you heard on that end?
Yeah, I've heard, I think, what you have heard and what everybody is hearing, that Milan, that the TFC is looking to hire this guy from AC Milan, Umberto Gandini, that is actually, I think, the head of the managerial and the club area. So. And the other thing is what David Moyal told yesterday about a new coach that could be Gennaro Gattuso, linked to the fact that Gattuso was for several years in AC Milan with Gandini.
Interesting stuff. Let me tell you this, Leonardo. I don't know if you saw my Twitter about a half hour ago or so, but something tells me, I believe, and I think that a guy that would be ideal as the next TFC president, a guy that knows the city of Toronto, a guy that played with the former Toronto Blizzard, a guy that understands the community here, and a guy that is no stranger to the game, former Juve great, former Toronto Blizzard, and Italian national team player, Roberto Bettega. Do you believe, or have you heard of anything in regards to maybe Roberto Bettega coming?
Yeah, I've seen your tweet, and I think I agree with you. I think that you're right. He could be absolutely a person who could fit in the role. We at the newspaper, at the Corriere Canadese, we've heard something too about Bettega. We know that for sure is one of the names that the MLSE is looking to hire. I don't know if he's like president or a GM, or if he could arrive both with Gandini or by himself, but absolutely is one of the names that is the Toronto FC is looking for.
And how important is this, that a guy like Roberto Bettega, who knows the city, who played here, who still comes here quite often, would be an asset instead of bringing a guy that has never played in the city, that has no history with the city, from somewhere else?
Of course, Bettega could be a huge asset for TFC because he knows the city, he knows the Italian community, but he also knows all the sports base in Toronto, and he knows the soccer because he played here, and he was also in a team that was quite successful. It was a good team, the Blizzard, so he could be very, 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 very good in the role that they want to give him.
Let me ask you this, Leonardo. A lot of people out there would say, well, why would they want to bring a guy like this over? He doesn't know MLS. He doesn't understand the North American game. Why would they want to hire this guy as their new president? What would you say to that?
I mean, Gandini is one of the top managers in Europe. He's not a guy that is the last guy in the sidewalk. I mean, he was for over 25 years one of the biggest managers for AC Milan, and that in the last 30 years has been maybe the biggest club in the world, or close. So I mean, this guy knows what he's doing. He's very good in the managerial role. So I mean, if you're thinking about a technician or stuff like that, he's probably not the guy that you're looking for. But I think that in the role that was the wiki role, he could have what it takes.
So you would see him over Bettega, because to me, as I was asking you, Leonardo, when people would say, Anthony, why Roberto Bettega do you feel he would be the perfect fit? I would say, as I've said to you and others, because he knows the city, he understands the game, he has many, many people that he has respect from all over the world, and I think he would bring a new, refreshing outlook. What would you say to those people if they say this would not be a good hire?
I don't agree with them. Simply don't agree with them. If we talk about Bettega, he also knows a lot Giovinco, so he could help him to be more at home than he actually is now. And we know that Giovinco is doing very, very good, but with Bettega could be also a better, could do better. I mean, Bettega was part of the big Juventus cycle with Lippi, with Capello. He was part of the group that led the Juventus to win everything. So, I mean, he's a great guy. He's a guy that knows his job as well as Gandini does. So I would be not surprised if they at the end they came both to do different role. Maybe Gandini in the managerial part, in the business part, and Bettega more in the technical part.
Interesting you said that, Leonardo. I never heard of that, but you know what? You could be bang on 100% correct. It could be a dual role. I mean, I've never heard of both Gandini and Bettega working together. I mean, that would be dangerous. A Milan and a Juventino, we could have a lot of problems there, Leonardo.
Yeah, there could be. They could. Toronto could be the place where they heal their wound.
Yeah, absolutely, Leonardo. Listen, we really appreciate you taking time. But before we let you go, where can people follow you on Twitter? And if they want to read tomorrow that you're going to have in the newspaper, where can they pick up a copy, or can they read it online? Give us all this information before we let you go.
They can find everything on the online website that is www.corriere.com. That is CORRIERE.com. Or they can find me on Twitter as Morumbi79. Or they can buy a copy of the Corriere wherever in the Greater Toronto area. Also, I think in Niagara Falls, Hamilton, and in downtown Toronto. I mean, all the part in the city like Dufferin, Lawrence, St. Clair, Corso Italia, all those parts they can find wherever they want a copy of the newspaper.
Outstanding. Leonardo, listen, we really appreciate you coming on. Keep up the great work at Corriere Canadese, and let's hope that one of these two gentlemen will make their way over here as the new TFC president. I think this will be an exceptional day again for the city of Toronto, but also for MLS, because they will keep thinking about going to Europe and bringing back quality people, and this way the game continues to grow. I think it would be outstanding. Leonardo, thank you so much again, and have a great evening, my friend.